terrorist forces and Hindutva communal forces, a Iron Man of Kashmir, and moreover a real communist, Comrade Muhammad Yusuf Tarigami. Comrade, for Kerala, the Tarigami is not just a name for us. You are always inspiring us. So, shall we start? Yes. Then I would like to request you kindly tell the story of Kashmir. Kindly tell the struggle of Kashmir.
Thank you, Comrade Rahim, and my very dear friends from Kerala, from this area of Kerala. It's always a pleasure and a privilege for a person like me to visit Kerala, to talk to the people here. It has always enriched my feeling as well as understanding about the life of an area which is far away from Kashmir, and telling you the truth that I feel so at home while in Kerala because of the rich history, traditions, the cultural heritage, the willingness to learn from each other, to remain together, to shape the future together. That is what the life of people of Kerala is, has been, and I hope it will remain in future also. You see, today when I have come from Kerala, Kashmir, it is too cold there. Cold, minus temperature at certain places. Recently, we witnessed a very big snowfall, though wonderful, but unbearable as well. So, but here, on the other extreme, at the other end of our country, Kerala, how bright it is. I just remind myself of the Dal Lake in Srinagar. Some of you might have visited Kashmir. We are having equally a wonderful lake there. But sometimes it is not so charming because of weather, maybe, but because of certain political shades as well, which are unwarranted, which are unacceptable to the people of Kashmir. So, you are lucky in the sense that you have atmosphere here in Kerala full of vigor, full of living a purposeful life, enjoying life, while as Kashmir has remained victim of different shades of violence for last so many decades. Kashmir has suffered heavily. Kashmiris have gone through big turmoils since for the last so many decades. And despite the historical fact that it was Kashmir which defied the trend of hatred on the basis of religion and faith in 1947, when that region, right from United Punjab, Lahore to Amritsar to Jalandhar, the whole area was bleeding. And even part of Jammu and Kashmir, Jammu was also affected by unfortunate events of violence. But it was Kashmir where even the Maharaja Hari Singh, who was the prince, ruler, who was reluctant to join, to accede to India, even at the time of partition, he was opting for remaining independent. That's why he entered into a standstill agreement with Pakistan. Indian government did not agree with that. And finally, when the tribals came, tribals supported by Pakistan, the then Pakistan regime, they reached one big town called Baramulla, north of Kashmir. Maharaja had left along with his whatever security stuff was available. And there was no Indian army to defend the people, the territory by that time, because accession had not taken place. It was the will of the people of Kashmir, unarmed people of Kashmir. Many of us do not understand or do not know, or sometimes those who matter, those who are in authority at the national level, try to distort the facts, try not to tell the truth to the people of the country about those events, historical events. But no one was there from the security forces, from the government of India to defend the minorities called Kashmiri Pandits. It was the will of the people of Kashmir, both the majority Muslims and the minority, small minority Kashmiri Pandits. Together, they resolved not to allow anybody to harm their relationship. Not a single communal incident took place in those trying times, difficult times, when whole of the region around was bleeding. Massacres took place, when virtually madness was overshadowing the whole atmosphere. It was in Kashmir that not a single communal incident took place. What a wonderful place. I dream of that Kashmir. I have come from that Kashmir and I inherit that Kashmir. Despite all distortions which later on have taken place, despite all assaults, all shades of violence of this sort or that sort have destroyed, have disturbed the life of the people of Kashmir. But the fact remains. Which fact? That fact is being now deliberately tried to erase from the memory of the people. That memory is not to be erased. That is the resolve of the people of Kashmir even now. Now we are being, we the people of Kashmir in the rest of the country are being portrayed as terrorists. We don't have DNA. I must tell, the very educated, intelligent, peace-loving people of Kerala of all shades, they may not agree with me on every issue, but I appeal to them because they have to come to the rescue of those who want your help, those who are in distress, not doing anything except but one thing, to not to misunderstand the people of Kashmir, their role in history. That is my earnest appeal to the countrymen as a whole and to people of Kerala, particularly where I am speaking today. It's not in our DNA. Violence and terrorism is not in the DNA of Kashmiri. As of now, when the miseries of Kashmiri Pandits, of course they have suffered heavily, no doubt about it. Of course, they have lost for the time being their home place. The circumstances evolved in such a manner where it became difficult for many of us, including me, to stay there for some time. But otherwise the fact remains that in 47, at that time, a Kashmiri girl, her honor was protected by the mother of the majority community, belonging to majority community. No personal army personnel was there. I am proud of that part of the history. When you talk about my life, my dreams, I must tell you, I have a very, very special dream. Special dream of making Kashmir the way it acted in 1947. Give me that Kashmir back. I don't want anything more. That is what it was called, paradise on earth. Not paradise because of its scenery, because of its beauty. Of course, those things, those elements are important. But besides that, the capacity to live together, the urge and aspiration of not dividing the human beings on the basis of your faith, on the basis of religion, on the basis of creed, which has become a mainstream phenomenon in my country called India. I don't want that to happen now, nowhere. That's my dream. And that is, of course, the dream of my comrade Rahim. That is the dream of the people of Kerala. That is why I love Kerala. I love Kerala. You may have differences, political differences. You may vote for this or that. But certainly I appeal to you, all of you, whether somebody goes to church, mosque or temple, or somebody decides not to go, remain at home, but remaining together is important for the life. To make the life purposeful, beautiful, remaining together is an element which all of us must cherish, all of us must work for. Now, today what is at stake? For us in Jammu and Kashmir, we don't ask anything, any favor from those who have been ruling since 2014. Such a beautiful country, such a big country. Now, the whole record of their doings vis-a-vis the issues which the people of India are facing as a whole, and which the challenges are there as far as Kashmir is concerned. What is the take record? What is the record, actual record of the doings of this regime, BJP regime? Telling you the fact, they have dismantle the very bond of relationship. It's not the question of removing one clause of the Constitution, not just a one clause, certain lines on the paper called Article 370. Now the people in the rest of the country, they are being told repeatedly as if Article 370 was a hurdle in the process of integration. And the lies are being spread at every level, telling the people of the country as if Article 370 has proved disruptive. Unfortunate. Article 370 has not originated from across. Nowhere. It emerged out of the wider discussions in the Constituent Assembly of India. Who were the people there in the Constituent Assembly? Dr. Ambedkar, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Patel, Abul Kalam Azad, Hasrat Mohani, and many others who had fought against British imperialism, who had suffered. They are not from this today's variety of patriots called Hindutva. None of them, even some of them might have gone, but with petitions, they have come out, begging for relief. It is that leadership of the country which fought for independence, got independence, and then discussed together the future direction of the country, including Kashmir. At that point of time, when Maharaja Hari Singh was reluctant to join India till October 26, he did not join in 15th August. He did not join in September. In the last week of October, when the raiders came, had raiders not come, he might have opted for some other option. But we, the people of Kashmir, are blaming for unpatriotic. Sheikh Muhammad Abdullah, who headed that movement, who was the leader of that movement along with his other colleagues, who gave a direction that religion cannot be the basis of nationhood. A relationship, religion, yes, but we can have different religions. We can live together. That is the essence of life. And we can shape our future while being together. Now, Maharaja Hari Singh, who was a ruler then, his birthday is being declared as a holiday, being celebrated, and Sheikh Abdullah's birthday is being removed from the holiday list by today's regime. Please try to understand that. We are not unhappy if some Maharaja is being given that status. His birthday is being celebrated. But for me, the important thing is that those who fought for a new future, those who worked for the accession with the Union of India, are being downgraded now, are being humiliated now. Who will decide? I don't ask this regime to do justice with the people of Kashmir because they don't have the capacity to do justice with the people in the rest of the country. How come they will do justice with us in Kashmir? I have no illusion as a citizen. My only concern is, the deepest concern is, what has happened in Kashmir is not just the end of the story. It has happened in Kashmir. It moves on, moves on. It is happening elsewhere in the rest of the country now. Those who were thinking of that something great is happening in Kashmir by demolishing a historic state, but unilaterally dividing and downgrading that state. We in India, we have a constitutional history where union territories have become states. While as the one example, history has been created or distorted by this regime by downgrading a historic state to the level of a union territory. Quite U-turn. And still the rest of the country will be misled by the propaganda machinery, the Godi media, and the huge propaganda machinery which they have at their level available, misleading the people that as if they have fought terrorism. They have not fought terrorism. They have fought, they are fighting the very essence of Kashmiriyat, which was the reason for rejecting two-nation theory and joining secular India. Otherwise, a Muslim majority area bordering with Pakistan. A Muslim majority area, when the raiders came, they said, no, religion, yes, but religion cannot be, it can be bond of certain good life. For good life, it cannot be used for dividing the ranks of the people. Religion cannot be used as a political weapon for division. So finally, it is the message of the people of Kashmir for the rest of the country, but unfortunately, that part of the history is being forgot, not told to the people of India. Now what is being said? The period of 90 onwards, the violence. Of course, the CPIM and other political parties, National Conference, Congress, PDP, many others, even the ulamas, Maulana Farooq, he was one of the leading figures. He was killed by the extremists. Vice Chancellor was killed. There were other ulamas who were killed, political leaders, Maulana Masoodi, who was the first person who was in the parliament from Kashmir. He was killed. How many legislators got killed? How many ministers got killed? How many writers got killed? How many women got killed? Both by the extremists, terrorists, and the counter-violence unleashed by certain elements from the government forces as also. Kashmir remains a victim of, unfortunately, victim of different shades of violence. And now, during the recently held election, assembly election, it was a big surprise for the people of Kashmir that now the BJP, hyper nationalist, ultra nationalist, they even question the wisdom of God that we are there to do everything possible on earth. In Kashmir, they have hobnobbed, openly compromised, made alliance, both hidden and outwardly, and the people have the sufficient wisdom to know who is who. They have joined hands with whom? Not with National Conference, not with PDP, not with anybody else, but with Jamaat-e-Islami. What a wonderful combination of RSS and Jamaat-e-Islami. It's a wonderful combination, I know, even surprising. And more importantly, Jamaat-e-Islami remains a banned organization. Despite being banned, they were allowed to contest as independents, not only allowed, facilitated. Not only facilitated in both in the dark nights and in the bright daylight as well. People of Kashmir know it better than anybody else. And they focused. They contested some seats, but focused on Kulgam where CPM candidate was contesting. And they did whatever was possible to spread lies, which remains here a very, very favorite way of working and doing their activities. As the rest of fundamentalist forces like Hindutva. You see, the people of Kerala must understand how Hindutva and so-called Islamic fundamentalists are joining together in Kashmir for petty electoral interests. Till yesterday, Jamaat-Islami was telling, whosoever voted, took part in poll process is a kafir. He is a kafir. He is anti-Islam. How many people got killed? People of Kashmir now. Just because they were either agents of political parties during elections or the candidates. And now they contested elections, not naming anywhere BJP, what BJP has done to the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Not even a single line. Not single line, because their masters had told them to do what suits to those who are ruling at the center. This is the double speak, this is the double face of Jamaat-e-Islami. But I must tell you, we the people of Kashmir do have the capacity to understand. And I am proud of my people, Kulgam area, despite all odds, hobnobbing from Delhi to Srinagar, Jamaat-e-Islamiya to BJP, despite all those odds, difficulties, people of Kulgam have expressed their will and support to one who has been there with them for the last so many decades. Now people are asking me, Comrade Rahim, you might be, or some of them might be asking me, how did you come about from this sort of a crisis? But, you know, the people are the real makers of history. We have been told right from childhood.
With the people of India.
And we the people, that is why there are big lines in the constitutional, this preamble of the constitution, we the people. We the people can make history, none else. Certain forces can distort the history. The journey of progress can be disrupted for a while. But nevertheless, I must tell the people of Kerala that it is the people finally who are the makers of history. Kulgam is part of the larger community of the people, and they did what they had to do, what they wanted to do. That is for us an encouragement, for me as a citizen, as an activist, that they have reposed the trust. That is something great. I salute them, all of them, and I salute all of you who have chosen a path different from the rest of the country. That is how you are special for us, special for me.
While you are speaking, we could feel the fire. All words are came from your bottom of your hearts. I would like to convey my salute to Comrade Muhammad Yusuf Tarigami on behalf of the entire audience. Comrade, I want to know from you about the media. Since the first session of this Yuvathara Youth Literature Festival, all guests have been raised their concerns over the media. What is the role of media? We know that the Press Club of Kashmir has been shut down. What is the role of media and what is the position of media in Kashmir, New Kashmir?
A very relevant question. But I must say that whatever has happened in Kashmir, we must underline it that it is a part of the process, bigger project. It is part of the Hindutva project, which is still ongoing. You know, this project of Hindutva Corporate Alliance has not only damaged the Kashmir politics, our position in the constitutional order, but it has also started a process to undermine the very federal structure of the country, the essence of our constitutional order. Now they have been trying for the last 10 years to erode the very basic element in our life, that is diversity, that is pluralism, that is remaining together. When we first talked about that our rights have been snatched, many people did not understand it. I once got the opportunity to talk in Bombay soon after, and I told the audience there that it is just a beginning from Kashmir. Who knows what happens tomorrow in Maharashtra? This project is aiming at to dismantle the whole constitutional structure. They may not be in strength today to do that, but their designs are already shaped, framed. I have no doubt about their designed project. The target is democracy itself. The target is the very essence of our structures. Now already you have told us about media, which institution is now secure, which institution, whether the parliament, even the parliament is not being allowed to run the way it should have. And only those questions are being allowed. Only those debates are welcome for them, which appease them, which support them. Any question raised remains unanswered in Rajya Sabha, in Parliament. Any debate worth it is being denounced as disruption in the Parliament. Now this has become a common feature as of now our parliamentary life is concerned. This is the biggest institution. Now one nation, one election. If that goes through, maybe, who knows? The purpose is to reduce the status of the states as panchayats, reduce the level of the states. Now already what governors are doing in Kerala, in Tamil Nadu and elsewhere, you are seeing that. Recent amendment is in USG. Now vice chancellors will be appointed from government of India. No say from state governments. Now GST earlier, one nation, one tax, one nation, one election, one nation, one language, and finally, one nation, one leader. This is how the whole journey is planned. But I have my own doubts about its success because I believe in the strength of the people of India. They can't be taken for granted. There may be certain amount of vacillations here and there, but finally, the people of India will not allow getting the whole history of achievements during freedom struggle in the shape of institutionalizing the politics, institutionalizing the life of the people, that they will not allow to go waste. That's my belief. But they have the capacity, they have the corporate capital at their back. Never forget, it's not just Hindutva, it is Hindutva. And Hindutva does not mean any love for Hindus, not at all. Who are victims of inflation today? Common people of India, including Hindus. Who are victims of unemployment? Common young generation of India, including Hindus. Now, which institution? The media? Part of it is bought up, they are in the pocket. Big corporates are there to support them, to own them. But some of the media people who are still picking up the courage and talking truth, expressing their own views, they are being prevented, they are being jailed, their voices are being curbed. This has become routine in our daily life as of now. Now, as far as Kashmir is concerned, it remains a special place. Special place, a special laboratory for initiating everything bad. They have dismantled the historic state. Who knows if they have the majority, bigger in number in parliament and bigger and somewhere warranted, they will go for any state, getting it divided and reducing its size to the level of a union territory tomorrow. They have experienced, and they could do it only by dividing the ranks of the people in the name of religion. What is happening to the minority community of Muslims today? What happened in Manipur? What is happening to Christian minority? But nevertheless, our unfortunate thing is, even now religious feelings are being roused for divisive purposes. Each religion talks about unity, talks about love and passion. But as of now, some people are desperate enough to use the religious beliefs for the purpose of creating divisions among the ranks of the people. We have to beware. That's what I was talking about. If BJP has assaulted the constitutional order of Kashmir, Jammu Kashmir, without taking into confidence the people of either Ladakh, Jammu or Kashmir. They have done what they did, shameful. But there are people like Jamaat-e-Islami who are open to support such a regime. It looks unbelievable for maybe some sections, but I have come from, and anybody not trusting me, they can come to Kashmir and know the facts there on the ground, what it is. So my appeal to the people of whole country is remain united. That is important. That is the key for moving forward. My appeal is to all shades of public opinion. We may differ here and there. We may contest here, there and all that. But nevertheless, parliamentary democracy is at stake. Its federalism is virtually under attack. And the freedom of press is at its lowest ebb, not only in Kashmir but elsewhere also. And even the civil liberties of the common man, UAPA, is being used against chief ministers, parliament members, and number of prisoners from Kashmir are languishing in jails under Public Safety Act. And nobody listens to. So a united voice, I have come here to speak to my comrades, my people in Kerala, my people, all the shades. Come closer, we look at you for your guidance. You have to be in the front row for defending the Constitution, defending the future of the people of country, including the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, comrade. Thank you. Very inspiring words. This is the time for conclusion. We can conclude the session now. Comrade, after the abrogation of Article 370, the BJP regime now going to one nation, one election, and going to the Uniform Civil Code, and they are going with their agendas. So anyway, we do believe, you said that the people are the focus and people are the prime in the democracy. So anyway, we the people, we do believe that we will make a future and we will make a better future. And anyway, I would like to convey my sincere thanks to you on behalf of your Thara Literature Festival and on behalf of Democratic Federation of India. Thank you, comrade. Thank you very much.